Hi, this is Katie Young.
This is Josh Rucker.
This is the What the Fact, where we talk about business, community,
personal development, and financial pathology.
I got some those up.
Did you?
I don't know, but either way,
I didn't notice.
I did because I say it all the time. I think if I switch it up, business, community, or community business, whatever you want to say, we're about all that.
Still sounded good.
We're about that life.
It's still the same
We're
lesson.
about that life. And today on the podcast,
in other news,
we're gonna be talking about that life.
Yeah, we're talking about that life.
Our
man.
lives.
Our lives. How did we get here?
Yeah, because I am really, really big on people not believing stuff happen overnight. Like, I documented my entire journey on purpose.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah.
Because I want people to look up 10 years from now, and I want them to point right back to that moment to say, this when Kevin started.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen overnight. Because we got a lot of people out here who think that, stuff happened overnight.
Yeah, man. Rome, Kemet, France, these cities were not built overnight. They weren't built in a day. They weren't built in a week. So I don't know how people can expect to build an empire or to build a legitimate legacy
in 5 years.
In 5 years.
Not even 5.
Not even 5.
2.
A year. Yeah.
2 years.
2.
Yeah,
no, guy.
You mess around and help.
I'll tell you like this. I planned it for 3 years.
I'm playing mine.
Huh?
I'm playing 10.
See,
bro, and
let me tell you, I'm still planning because I didn't figure it all out in the 3 that I took. I still didn't figure it all out. Like
I playing 10. Like I knew because this is what happened to me, and this was my precipice.
Yeah.
As it relates to the work that I knew I had to put in.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally sending my grad program. Well, I take that back. I was sending at Pulaski Tech. I was going for my associates in psychology, and my professor, I said, I want to go get my... No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Sorry, I messed my own story up. I had got my associates in psychology. I had went to UCA to get my degree in business marketing and management.
I see.
So I got that. Came back to Pulaski Tech, told my instructor, hey, got my business start part of the way. I knew I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
I said, but I really want to start working in the community and dealing with mental health. Now, this was almost 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? This was a long time ago. And I said, I knew I wanted to get into mental health and work in the community and do all that kind of stuff. So then once I went back to my professor, which is also shout out to Mr. Becker, Mr. John Becker, great guy. Taught me about investing too. Real cool dude. At Pulaski Tech. I actually told him, I said, Mr. Becker, look, I wanna work with mental health, but I also want to be in the community. Yeah. And he said, Kevin, because he's a psychologist, a psychiatrist. Whatever.
Does he prescribe medicine?
He can.
Psychiatrist.
So he was a psychiatrist. I told him, I said, Mr. Becker, this is what I want to do. He said, well, you don't need to be in psychiatry. He said, you need to be in social work. Social work. He said, because you're going to get mental health and the social part combined. Yeah. And social workers can actually prescribe medicine. Some of them are
oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. I was going on that path.
Oh, you was down that road.
I was going on that path because social workers can't prescribe medicine, certain ones. Yeah. And so whenever I told him that, this was 8-9 years ago. Because this is planning, right? We talking about planning.
Yeah, we talking planning.
So I was like, I want to be in the community. So I was, 23, 24, I think. I graduated, I was 24. I was 24. Yeah. Man, went to that program, finished 85% of the program. Yeah. Got all the way to the end. Now, see, this is what people don't understand about when you can walk away from something that you have to be willing to walk away from the good stuff to get to great.
To get to great, yeah.
And you got to see the parallels. I'm like, okay. Ooh. Yeah.
Now we say that like it's easy. Sometimes, I know for me, and we'll get to that a little later, but I know for me, sometimes you can get comfortable with being comfortable.
Yeah. Okay. I get. Are you going to be comfortable or happy? Is the question.
Now that's
like
go on. Yeah, that's the thing.
I had to understand that there was a difference. I was comfortable
because in comfort you can slip into complacency.
Well, and you know what? I want to say how comfortable I was. Though. Okay. I want people to understand how comfortable I was. Yeah. This is, bruh, I got my first house. I got my first house before 25.
At 24, yeah. At 24, you had a house.
And it was on a lake.
Bro, I had that.
No, and it was on a lake. Yeah. And I was a manager at FedEx. Yeah. And I was going for this man. I take it back. No. I stopped being a manager at FedEx. And I was working for the government.
Oh, yeah.
I was working for the government, had a lake house, pretty much like a lake house behind my house. family was, had a family, the picture perfect family.
Yeah.
Man, had everything that people want. Had
the American dream.
What was driving an Infinity?
Yeah,
bro. I'm just saying, like it was like that.
Yeah.
But I really wanted a solution.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in my master's program, and I got people you can go ask right now. And I was like, you know what? I had done a community assessment on North Little Rock.
Yeah.
I had done an entire community assessment. That's how I know about. Hey, people that live in Little Rock, go look up Metro Plan 2040. They've been planning this for the past 10 years. I've been knowing about this for 10 years. Gotta go to look up Metro Plan and stuff like that. So I did a community assessment. Was walking down my hood.
Mm-hmm.
Had to interview people, look at dilapidated homes. This is why I told you I know how to predict gentrification.
Yeah, gentrification.
I can predict it.
That's what you saw it from.
Yeah, well, no, I saw the symptoms of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so because I saw the symptoms of gentrification, I immediately said, "Oh, you can predict this."
Yeah.
And so I said, I went back to school and I told my professor, I said, they're about to gentrify this area.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked my professor, I said, can mental health serve the people in this area to not prevent gentrification, but so that they can continue living economically?
Yeah.
And when they looked at me in my face and said no,
all right, we got a problem.
When my professor told me no, mental health is not the solution,
mm-hmm.
I quit.
Yeah.
Because I knew economics was the solution for poverty.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. So I walked away from. I had like $40,000 in student loan debt.
Yeah.
I only needed an internship to finish my degree, my master's.
Yeah.
I quit
because you saw the need in the community, and that had greater importance than.
I quit, bro. I quit.
Yeah. It'd be like that.
I don't know. If you ain't never been in a master's program,
just up and being that close to finishing, though, bruh.
To quit and not only quit, but to go into economics and being a business owner, and that shit harder. That
alone, bruh. Not. Listen, y'all. Entrepreneurship is a mountain.
It is.
Okay. It's a battle all in of its own. Saying that, to walk away from the American dream, that's the only way I can say it.
That's what it was,
American dream.
That's all it was.
To be an entrepreneur, like, Kev, you crazy.
And not even doing it for me, because I was straight.
Yeah, you good.
You see what I'm saying?
Kev, you crazy.
I promise you, man, I had got to a point where I had worked up and got enough degrees and had enough relationships where, man, I was working for the government, and I left the government. See this. I left the government too around. So to say this, my journey, that's my journey as a baby adult, because that's a baby adult.
It's a baby adult.
What's going on, Diddy? So today, everyone, we're not sharing that journey. I'm not sharing that journey. That was brief. We're talking about the stuff from age like 2 or 3 when we can remember.
On up. Yeah.
Like grandma talks, all that.
Yeah.
So I done talked enough about my grassroots in a sense, because I ain't got to my grassroots yet.
No.
Josh, you was telling me something about yours though, bro. You said that your mom said you was a protected, anointed child.
I needed to be protected is what the message was to my mother. All right, so how should I start this? All right, y'all. So this has been on my mind all day. I woke up about 1 o'clock. It was about 1:23 to be exact. And this was on my head. The fact that when there's a calling on your life, you can't move the same way everybody else does.
Say that's real. Say this.
I'll repeat it. When there's a calling on your life, you can't move the same way everybody else does.
You can't. You can't. Yeah, you cannot.
It's. I mean, and I say that not to be, antagonistic or anything. It's just it's a law of the universe. The universe is going to let you know that you can't do these things. I'll give you an example. I give you a lot of examples because this is my life. So at the age of 5, my mom, I remember I was going to the Word of Outreach. It's a Christian elementary school right there on.
I know where that is.
Yeah, right there off. I think that 12th Street, Asher.
Yeah, I know where that's
at.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And I had gotten in trouble in school. I think the problem was I was talking in class or whatever.
I got in trouble for that a lot.
Oh, I did too. But, so they called my mom. It was like, Miss Taylor, or at this time, Miss Rucker. Josh is being disruptive or whatever. You're going to have to come get him. All right. So economically, my household was mom working at, I forget where she was working at. I believe she was still at UAMS, or maybe she was at a company, EDS. I don't know. But
my mom used to work for EDS. My stepmom did.
For real? Downtown right there?
She was a Medicaid specialist. They probably know each
other.
other.
Yeah, they probably know each other.
Dang. Yeah,
small world. Yeah, so she was. We'll just go with that. She was working at EDS, since that's a central point. She couldn't afford to leave the job to come pick up Josh because he didn't know how to to close his mouth. She didn't have the luxury to get off her job to come do that.
She had a leisure to do it.
So imagine that being your situation, having to come get your son or whatever. This wasn't a good situation for me.
Nah.
All right.
You probably got whipped.
Amongst. She did not spare the rod. I'll say that. She did not spare the rod. Like, she lived by that. The rod of correction.
That code.
Yeah, that was the rod of correction was a thing for me in the household. So anyway,
me too. I got my.
She told me. She said, she was saying, Josh, you have to do what they say. Like, if they say sit down and be quiet or whatever, you got to do that.
I was, man. You know what? And I'm not trying to cut you off, but I was having a discussion with someone yesterday, last week, and I told them that you have to know when to be submissive. And a lot of people don't like the word submission. But if it's my life, or if we're at these two levels,
yeah,
and you got authority and power at this level,
yeah,
and I don't have that. See, some people are just like, you weak. No, I live.
No, right.
and we in an argument. We in a battle. This the police. This Kevin.
Right.
This Kevin. He pulled me over. Yeah, I know he a man just like me. Yeah, I know we equals.
Yeah.
But then Kevin got a family. Kevin got his son. Kevin got all that stuff going through his mind, and I want to be there for them.
Yeah.
So I need to deal with him in a different way. So he's on 10. I need to go to about 8.
Yeah.
Now, he's not going to be disrespectful.
Right.
But at the same time, at that point in time, at that moment, he has more power than me.
Yeah, he does.
So I learned that, what you're talking about, I learned that because my mama told me the same thing.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, being from where we're from, that's a lesson we have to know.
We do.
Or we're not going to make it past 25. It's survival, exactly. We're not going to make it past 25 if we don't. So, she's telling me this, you got to do what they say. And inquisitive Josh Rucker says, well, mama, why?
Yep.
Everybody else was up talking and doing everything. You not them, Josh.
Yep.
Who in trouble?
Oh, yep. Hey, your mama sound like my mama.
I promise. She say, who in trouble? Did everybody else did they mamas get called?
Yep, I had the same discussion.
I said, no.
I had the same discussion, man. And you know what? That's the thing when you have that mama in your life where they understand things at a different level.
At a different level.
And going back to when I was around like 3 or 4. My grandma, like every time I got out of school, I go to my grandma's house.
Yeah, me too.
And so my little granny and my big granny were the people that pretty much. So you have spurts of time where kids can learn. Mm-hmm. So after school, I knew I was going to my granny's house, and she would make me hot dog sandwiches with mayonnaise. I remember this is like a sentimental moment. But I was watching Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And at the same time, my grandma was like dropping little nuggets of life in me. Yeah. Now let me give y'all some background about my grandma. My grandma had a 6th grade education.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma also became a chef at 5-star hotels.
Yeah.
She was over the kitchen, all that for her whole life. 6th grade education.
Yeah.
While she was doing that, she would always just give me like these little wisdom, man. This wisdom all the time. And some of my siblings and then my cousin, he's on here right now. I don't know if they conceptualize why I would go over there so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you get fed like that, 4 or 5 years old, when you get fed that kind of information and knowledge, and truth, I say truth,
right,
and you go into the world, and what your grandma is telling you like to pay attention to, she's not telling you what to do. Mm-hmm. She said, Kevin, just make sure you watch out for this. Mm-hmm. And you start watching out for it, and you start understanding why you got to watch out for it. You don't fool with a lot of people.
Right.
You misunderstood a lot as a kid. You like, why is he doing this? I'm like, my grandma told me this when I was 4 years old.
Exactly.
And it's not matching up what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And so because my grandma got a 6th grade education, And she still made it?
And she still made it?
It's very hard.
I think